Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for a Demon Alhamat burn list. This is a little bit different than the one that Josh played on Wednesday, but it's got the same kind of concept, just has some other unique kind of text to it, and this one is actually designed by Josh Boersma, who has designed a lot of lists on the channel before, and he is a patron of the channel, so huge thanks to him for supporting the channel as well. So obviously we got Alhamat, and thanks to another friend of mine, Tommy Work, I actually was able to get my hands on the 073 Uber Alhamat from the VIP program, so huge thanks to him. Alhamat, obviously, we're primarily using him on this side just because of the generation of mana counters. If we really have to, we can flip him, but we usually don't, and we pretty much never flip him to side 3. It should be noted that in the feature match, I was incorrect about Neo Barrier of Shadows, even unsealed, stopping him from being able to produce things. I had forgotten about the errata that the unsealed effect doesn't affect will abilities, so that includes his special magic stone's ability to filter and his ability to produce, so just keep that in mind. Moving the stones along, we play 4 Ancient Magic Stones, obviously, because black and white are the primary colors, and then it can filter into whatever we need. And then Scorched Bales is the other, red is the other main character or color, and then 2 Dark Depths to finish out the package and have some blue in there. Moving into the Resonator base, we play 4 Demon Orderly. This guy is really great. Resonance triggers gets us more mana counters, can be used with Rachel to start killing stuff. Lots of cool things. 4 Shades for some repeatable spot removal. It's pretty good. And against non-Dark Tree decks, hey, you get to gain a little life, which is really cool. 2 Grim. This card is really, really good right now, I think, just in pretty much every deck. It's a body that also pops an addition just when it enters. And if you are playing Fairy Tales, then it's just free value out of it, so I think that's pretty good. 3 Rachels. She's a flyer, she's a repeatable removal spell, she's also a ramp engine and brings back our little dude, so she potentially comes into play, gets a demon back, resonance triggers, kills something, gets you 2 counters because the Demon Orderly also will resonance trigger Alhamat, so then you get, you know, you played the 3-drop and you ramped 2 will too, so she's technically a 1-drop. I just think that's pretty good. Then we play 4 of the Vingolf 3 Allosaurus. So this is one of the big tech cards that Josh wasn't playing on Wednesday. The main reason why we play this card is to help the deck, because it can run out of cards. And so in order to be able to, rather than worry about top decking things, you can just quickly flash this guy in with Quick Cast and RFG one of your spells, and then use him as a blocker and get to cast the spell whenever you want. Should be noted that just like Otherworld Dreams, his effect to put a card on the chase doesn't care about timing of the card. So if he dies during your opponent's turn, you can just cast a World Flame Summoning from your RFG right then, even though it doesn't have Quick Cast. 1 Blazer, just so we have some reach at the end of the game. 2 Twinheaded Dragons. I really actually like this card a lot. You generate a lot of counters with this deck, and having a 4-drop that can potentially be a pseudo +3, I think is just really nice. The 1000 damage burn can really just help get things out of your way that you're really struggling with, especially against Dark Tree. If I play something like Arla, you can just play this guy, you know, pay 1 mana counter to give him the Red Awakening and just burn Arla out of the way for 1000 damage just when it comes in. And he's a flyer 1000, which is also really great. And then lastly, we do play a lot of creatures in this deck. A lot of them are trying to get to the grave quickly. So we play 1 Valentina because she can help with a little pseudo kind of lock every turn, or I guess you could call it World Flame every turn with Allosaurus, where it's like you, at the beginning of the turn, bring back Allosaurus, RFG a World Flame, and during their turn you block with Allosaurus, let it die. Allosaurus lets you cast the World Flame, which goes back into the grave, and at the start of your next turn, Valentina brings him back, and you just keep doing it over and over and over again. Really cool little combo, definitely hard to pull off, but very satisfying when you do. Moving into the spells. 4 Ancient Heartfelt Fire, primarily for ramp. Usually you want to try to hit a turn 2 World Flame Summoning, and so to do that you either need Demon Orderly or Ancient Heartfelt Fire to be able to make that happen, so that's why we play 4 of it. 3 Clockwork Time Bomb, because it's very easy to awaken in this deck, and 1000 damage to the board and to your opponent's face is just really explosive, especially with not a ton of instant speed removal being used right now. 4 World Flame Summoning. Obviously, this is kind of the main damage dealer of the deck. We use it multiple times, and it helps to disrupt your opponent's stones. 4 Ancient Knowledges to help the consistency of the deck. We need to be able to draw cards. And then here's the interesting thing. 3 Mained Ancient Barriers. This card is really, really good. It really punishes decks that run on low will counts. And also really makes it so that your spells are really going to resolve, because they'll tap out thinking they can hold the Severing Winds, and then on your turn you can be like, well, I'll play this, that's going to resolve, and then now that this is in play and you can't Severing Winds because you're out of will, I'll cast my other spell that I need to play. This is a really big protector from Severing Winds, and it just really disrupts your opponent's decks a lot, especially in control mirrors, because you're playing nothing but ancient magics in your entire deck, and they have only other stuff, so this just makes all of their things way more expensive. And then lastly, a Neo Barrier of Shadows, just mained because you often will get to 8 stones in this deck, and sometimes just having that tax effect can really help swing the game in your favor. For sideboard options, you know, it's kind of just based on your meta. You can play like additional Ancient Barriers, Elkios if you want to bring back the Demon package a little bit more, more Grims. I definitely recommend that because you run the Neo Barriers, you might as well run a couple Dark Alices in the side just in case to lock down. Rezard for Reanimator because it's easy in your colors. Erasure is really nice because it's ancient magic that you can use to just kill anything, including a J-Ruler, which is very, very nice. You can play another Neo Barrier. Definitely want to play a couple Alchemot's Black Lightning. This card is really good, especially against Maribella decks, because they just can't cancel it. So you can just be like, oh, well, that Maribella's dead. I'm glad you spent your turn on it. And then like Steam Explosion I find is a really good tech against tree decks, because you'll get to a point where you've hit them with a couple of Whirl Flames and stuff. Maybe you kind of stall out a little bit, so then you just like Steam Explosion and hit them for the rest of their deck to finish them off with all your counters. So those are just some options for the sideboard, but again, it's based on what's around your area. This deck has a pretty good fairer matchup overall. You can kind of get rushed down sometimes, which can be a problem, especially if you don't see Whirl Flames. But I definitely recommend you give this deck a try, even moving into the format with Advent of the Demon King out and about with us. So let me know what you guys think. Again, huge thanks to Josh for getting me the list, and for Tommy for helping me get this Alhamot. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off. Huge thanks to the patrons of the channel. You see their names on the screen here, some of them, and the rest are down below in the description for their support of the channel and the content. If you want to get a chance to get your name in the screen here and access to our private Discord server, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon by clicking that little P on the screen. Thanks so much. See you next time.